This is Grocery Talks with food distribution guys Richard Baker, where we provide food manufacturers with a greater understanding of Canada's grocery sector. And now, here's our host, Richard Baker.
Today, I'm pleased to be joined on the line by Ms. Kojenwa Moitt, CEO of Zebra Public Relations. Welcome, Kojenwa, and thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for having me, Richard. I appreciate it.
Can you just please provide us with a brief overview of Zebra Public Relations?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are here, we're in the fame game, is how I like to say it. You know, we're here to make our clients rich and famous. And I started in film and television working as an actor. And so our work is to get our clients press, get them famous, get them known, get them seen on television, on radio. You're becoming prolific now.
So what made you open up your own PR firm?
Well, actually, I graduated in 2008, and that was the first recession that I'd ever experienced. I was just leaving.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just leaving an MBA. I'd been 2 years in Boston. My dad called me because he'd been helping me with the rent as I was in school. And he said, "You know what today is, right?" And I said, "What?" He says, "Oh, well, the stock market's crashed. We're in a deep recession." I was like, "What? I don't even know what that is. No jobs. There are no jobs. What jobs? There are no jobs." People at Harvard, their offers that they'd had in hand were rescinded immediately. Also, we were getting a new president, President Barack Obama. We're like, what the hell is going on with this economy? We're having to bail out people. Back then, they didn't bail out people. So you had to scramble on your own to figure out if if your accounts are short and you can't pay for it. I don't know. So I said, no time like the present.
Excellent. So good for you for targeting entrepreneurs. Why this business segment?
Why this business segment?
Yeah, well, why helping entrepreneurs? There's a good question.
Why helping entrepreneurs? Well, I am an entrepreneur, and maybe deep down somewhere I wanted to help myself. I've been in a situation where I'm in a new country. I don't even have my papers. I'm Canadian, by the way.
Okay.
But crossing over, I didn't have anything. The people who'd crossed over from Mexico to New York who are working in kitchens were like, "Hey, do you want a waitress? Maybe I'm a sous chef or whatever. I'm chopping stuff and maybe I can get you in the restaurant." That's how I got in. So you needed help, but along the way was the idea of entrepreneurship, the idea that I could have something for myself. I'd been making all these other people tons of wealth, tons of money. None of it interested me. I feel that each one of us is designed to do something great in this world.
Right.
So, if I can help them to ascend and to sit in their greatest power, that for me is my legacy, my joy,
So you mentioned, what other ways is it that you assist these businesses other than getting on radio or getting them onto TV?
I think because of my experience as someone who's gone to business school, as someone who's lived in China, for example, as someone who's lived in Paris and Senegal, I understand how people work. I understand how your brain works and how our beliefs are influenced by our culture, what we've been told as parents or as children, all the things around us that make us who we are. And I think that at the core of everything, we are human. So if you can appeal to what makes someone exciting or what lights them up, if you can help somebody shine and come out of their shell, or maybe they're dealing with depression or anxiety or they're bipolar, we all have something, but it is possible to be great.
Yeah. So why do you think it's important in today's global market for business to generate a buzz around their brand?
It's so important because we're dealing with such a competitive landscape. Everywhere you turn, somebody had the same idea as you. Somebody has the same concept. I mean, look at 2007 when the app market was just coming out. How many apps are there now? I mean, it's inconceivable. It's inconceivable, right? You couldn't even deposit that many apps on your phone. There are 10 apps right now that do what you do. There's somebody with more money, right?
Yes.
It's not, it's the idea of marketing, the science of marketing, the science of getting in front of millions of eyeballs that we care about at Zebra, right?
Yeah.
That is our work. The science of getting you in front of millionaires, billionaires, people who can fund your account, who can help you fill out documents. We're not only publicists, we have that business background. So we care about how the money flows and the operation is so important.
Yeah, consumers just have too many choices today.
Too many choices, and they're not loyal either. They don't have to stay.
Correct.
With you,
yeah, exactly.
Right?
So from your line of business, what do you feel are the 3 keys to success for brands to be successful?
3 keys for success. Wow. I would take from Gary Vaynerchuk's book, who says, and he's a billionaire actually. He says humility is the number 1 trait for great leadership. Just knowing that you can learn every day from someone, that you can also find something new, be inspired, never be so boastful that something could happen any day. Like, just be grateful. My goodness. And that would be the second, be grateful, right? Stay in gratitude, be thankful for what has come your way. You could be in a lot worse condition. And the other thing is to stay on your toes, keep learning, stay in that hustle mindset. I'm a natural born hustler. I love to make money. Yeah. And if you're driven, some people tell me that, I was listening to JT Fox the other day. He's like, I was in my 20s. I had 7 million in my bank account. And that's when I stopped caring about money. Wow. Can you imagine getting to that point? Wow.
Yes.
How big, right?
Yes,
how
exactly.
Big can it be? Wow. Can you imagine?
Yeah. Now I'll explain this next question to you, because I firmly believe that certain businesses think, generate awareness, I just have to do it for a couple of months. So in your line of work, is it safe to say that the work you do for a client, it's a journey, not a sprint?
Correct. 100%. Ding, ding, ding. Yes, because, and I use it metaphorically, usually in the kickoff calls. I will say to the client, listen, we're going to be in this journey together. Okay, we've kicked off the dock now. We've pushed off, we picked up the anchor, and Correct. We're off now. Because the minute they've paid that invoice, it's a responsibility to me. We call it a fiduciary responsibility for people who are in finance to take care of that money, to grow that money, to grow the knowledge base, to transfer the information, to make sure that it's applied. Otherwise, we have failed. We cannot in good conscience say that we have successfully done our work, right? Yeah. So it is a journey, and there are highs and lows and pivots, and and because we are human, we have that fright, flight, freeze, fawn. Somebody might say, I want to pause right now. They're scared. They don't have enough money to pay the bill. They're worried about the bill. Don't worry about the money. I say it all the time. When you stop worrying about money, you'll have more money than you could ever worry about, right? You choke the flow when you worry about this thing constantly. Figure it out later. That's how millionaires think, actually, I learned. Figure it out. How can I earn $3,000 so that I can pay for the website, so that I can hire the publicist, rather than to live in this fear-based mindset of lack, not having enough. It stifles everything, and it kills everything. Yeah.
Well, and I remember one slogan for myself was, an advisor said, out of sight, out of mind. Be in the forefront of their mind 24/7, because if you're not, someone else is going to take your spot.
Someone else is going to grab it. Exactly. Definitely.
Correct.
And having techniques in play, like, here's how you create a 30-second commercial. Here's how you create a radio commercial that you have. By the way, you own these things. These are brand assets. Yes. A lot of brand builders will give you the talk, and we actually execute on the assets. And what that looks like is, you've got a link, that you can show for it. You've got the receipts. When you type in the various names, the keywords in Google, it does come up. You can be found. You have more people coming through in terms of traffic, either virtually or in person. Some people have brick and mortar locations as well. So all those things is just a science of numbers. And,
right.
It's such awesome work.
Yeah, exactly. Do you have a success story you can share with us?
Yeah, I remember being in New York, and we were all kind of young and hot but rather broke. And we're living in Williamsburg. Yeah, Williamsburg, Brooklyn, which at the time was a little bit wobbly, shall we say. And Jay-Z had made a name from the J and Z trains that crossed over.
Okay.
JMZ.
Yeah.
They took Jay-Z and he made it Jay-Z. Well, I was inspired by Jay-Z. I was like, well, let me live where moguls have lived, where kings have lived. And so I took that inspiration. But in the beginning, I was very broke and running around and chasing clients. And those clients were just not the right clients, by the way. But I didn't know this, of course.
Right.
Well, a friend came to me and said, hey, I heard you do PR, right, Kojenwa? I said, yeah, I do. She was an actress. She didn't have much money either, but she was working at the bar at night to pay for the auditions. And she said, well, I'm going to keep working at the bar so I can pay you to get me in front of a casting director. And I said, challenge accepted, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I charged like $250 or something, like whatever I needed for rent.
Right.
Dinner that night. And she came up with it. She never gave me any guff, nothing. She just did what she had to do. And I respected that. Respected her hustle. She respected mine. Got her in front of the casting director.
Excellent.
Alexa Fogel said yes. And like within weeks, she was signed to HBO to do The Deuce, which led to Lovecraft Country and
wow,
these amazing pictures.
Good for
That's
her.
what we call a placement. Good for her.
Good for her.
We've just been watching her work, watching her at the Emmys. It's nothing like it.
So what is the best way for a small business to make contact with you?
The best way is to come visit us on our website. You can find us anytime at zebrapublicrelations.com. And if you're in Canada, zebrapublicrelations.ca. And there's a portal right there. It's a pink button that says book a call with me now. It costs nothing to do it. And I'm happy to give assessments on websites or where your company is now, or how you feel about your publicity, your PR, maybe you're handling a crisis. You name it, we've handled it. And we don't care what business you're in, by the way, right? As long as you're an entrepreneur, that's really what it's about.
Well, thank you again to Kojenwa Moitt for being our guest. And if you're a food manufacturer seeking distribution in Canada's grocery sector, please visit our website, www.fooddistributionguide.com. Thank you again, Kojenwa.
Thank you so much, Richard.